Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video. So today we're going to be doing a video on a video next to another video. You still with me? Cool, let's go. So I thought we'd take a little look at Bruce Dickinson's newest performance, but we're not strictly looking at his performance today. We're going to look at something specific from this performance that I noticed whilst watching it. So join me and this Minions coffee mug, which my mum bought for me. Mums, eh? And we shall feast our eyes and ears upon this heavy metal legend. So we've got the headphones today because A, I'm recording audio of myself, and B, if I was to play this through my speakers, it would then play into the microphone and yeah. Blue Yeti. Anyway, here we go. So this is the Tears of the Dragon performance from 2 days ago in Bucharest, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, because that's not what today's about. This is about a particular element of his performance, and I noticed it a little further into the song. So if you haven't heard Tears of the Dragon before, I recommend you go check it out. It's one of my favourite Bruce Dickinson solo songs. But anyway, here we go. Now, I want you guys to pay very close attention to something in particular. Look at Bruce's tummy. Look at his tummy. Because that's what today's about. We're gonna be dissecting Bruce's breath control, because it just stood out to me like a sore thumb when I watched this performance. Slowly I rise. Slowly I rise. That's quite high. Watch his stomach in the next phrase. The walls are built up rolling. Look at that. The way it bubbles out when he takes a breath. We'll go back a little bit and show you again. Bubble. The way his gut just goes pop like that. So what's happening there is he's taking a breath, and in a way, as he's taking his breath, just before that phrase, his stomach expands, you can see, and then right the millisecond before he starts, oh look, we stopped at 420, lol. The millisecond before he starts singing, it balloons a little bit more. So what's happening there is, as he's contracting his diaphragm, he's snatching his breath ever so slightly before he starts the phrase. And that causes his diaphragm to expand even more, just before it contracts to push the breath out. I'm slipping away. Now watch his tummy. See, it's coming in and out, in and out. Let it wash. So his tummy, as he's going, shit. So as he's going, let it wash over me. So that's what's happening inside. So if you imagine this is Bruce's rib cage, and his diaphragm runs over the top of it. It's expanding and contracting as he's going, let it wash over me. And it's closing. The diaphragm's closing as he's singing. And you can see, as he finishes a phrase, his diaphragm expands again, his tummy expands outwards as he takes a breath, and then contracts again as he starts the next phrase. To face the fear, I think is the next phrase. I also want to point out what he's doing with his jaw there. The way he's going like that, he's almost chewing on the note as he's adding the vibrato. It's a very interesting thing I've seen a lot of singers do, especially, interestingly enough, some of the professional sopranos that I've worked with in opera, which, funnily enough, I'm in the middle of doing one now, and I've got a performance this evening. They tend to chew on the note and move their jaw as they're adding vibrato, and I never understood why, because me personally, I've never done that. Maybe occasionally, depending on the phrase and depending on where it is in my tessitura, but very, very rarely. Sometimes on the highest, like, yeah, like the really high notes. In a way, it's good to let the jaw wobble. Not necessarily do it on purpose, but if you're feeling any tension, release it as you're singing the higher note. But Bruce's breath control is fucking impeccable, and the fact that it can be seen on camera from a distance, just, that's testament to it. So let's have another have a little ganders further on. As he breathes, you can see his t-shirt crease up as he breathes out and his diaphragm contracts inwards. Oh, look at that! Just it pops out. It pops out between phrases and back in. But he's not. You can't hear him snatching his breath, which is amazing, because it shows that he's using it properly. He's not wasting his breath. He's not using more for to face the fear than he actually needs to. He's just using what he needs and then adding more between phrases. So his belly is never empty of air until the very end of whatever he's singing. And it's, again, the fact that it can be seen. I mean, who needs an iron? Who needs an iron to iron your clothes? Just have Bruce Dickinson's diaphragm. Every time you take a breath in, the creases disappear. Amazing stuff. I love that slide. That's very interesting. So that's not in the original recording. What does he say again? The sea release. He goes back down. He slides back down for release the wave. It's amazing. This man's control. This man's control. What I wouldn't do to have his ability. It's unreal, man. But anyway, I think I've made my point. Just look at Bruce's stomach anytime he's singing for a masterclass in breath control. Speaking of masterclasses, the next video, to back up what I'm saying and what I'm showing you about what Bruce is doing, he actually talks about it in this quote-unquote masterclass. So he talks about how to use the voice, how to play with your chest voice and your head voice and the breath and so on and so forth.
You typically do a warm-up, you have a little bit of assessment. I'd probably spend a bit longer than 30 seconds doing it, but there's a low bit, for too long now.
Oh, same song.
There were secrets in my mind. Right? That's all nice and low, nice chest voice,
In my mind, there were secrets in my mind. Yeah, that's quite chest voicey.
For too long now.
We'll skip ahead a bit.
I'll throw myself into the sea.
Now, you can see how relaxed he is. He's still pronouncing to the audience after probably being talking for ages, and he explains in this video, I can't remember at which point, that talking is disaster for the voice, and it is, because you use everything from here down when you talk, but when you sing it's from here up. So what he means there is the muscular contractions are the focus when you talk, but when you sing, it's the airflow that's generally the focus. The muscular contraction is the bare minimum it has to be to phonate, which is make noise with the voice.
It moves into the head voice. I was stumbling for the door. And you play with them. Hey, the misty girl. You try to avoid using the sunrise to sunset. Sunrise to sunset. You try to warm up that middle bit because it's tight because I've been talking.
Tight because I've been talking. Is the bit I want to point out there. He's explaining that when you talk, again, all the muscles, everything here tightens up just naturally, even if you talk in the most healthy way possible, because the muscular contraction is the focus, whereas, again, with singing, it's all breath. Breath is the driving force. The diaphragm is the engine that drives you singing, and I think that's the best way to explain it. But if you guys want to know a little more, go check out this Bruce Dickinson metal masterclass video, because it does go into a lot more detail. But I just wanted to point out his breath control and the fact that it can be seen on stage, and the fact that now in his 60s, after having throat cancer, which is the worst cancer a singer can get, maybe besides lung cancer, he is still writing the book on heavy metal singing and still proving why he is one of, if not the best vocalist in heavy metal history. So anyway, again, go have a look at the Tears of the Dragon from a couple of days ago, on the 15th of March 2023, and judge for yourselves and have a look at his tummy while he's singing. It will show you a very, very important part of what we do as singers. that a lot of people don't realise when they go into singing. And I think there's a lot of singers whose voices could have been saved from serious injury that they've experienced throughout their lives had they learned these techniques sooner. So yeah, and that's it from Static Yonder. I'll see you in the next video. Yes, I have been in my pyjamas this whole fucking time, but this is my channel and I do what I want. Did you enjoy the video? Did you enjoy it? Because you didn't know I was wearing PJs till now. So if you enjoyed it before you knew, it doesn't fucking matter, does it? Goodbye, see you in the next one. I will never do ASMR, don't even ask.